Hello, my name is Joshua and welcome to another video on this deep, rich channel. I'm sorry. Anyway, today I am doing the movies and TV shows that I've watched in the month of July 2021. Yes, I have now made this monthly. I have a list here of everything that I have watched this month and one thing that I forgot from the last video. That's cringe. And as you can see behind me, by the way, I have got the one and only Netflix. I invested some of my pocket money into getting this beautiful platform right here. Yeah, let's just get into it. So the thing I forgot, the Truman Show. I watched this in the first half of 2020 and for some reason I forgot it, even though it was probably one of the best films I watched on that list. I put it under Terminator 2, so it's like the second best film on there, I guess. Jim Carrey, he's known for being a comedian, obviously. I've never seen him in a role like that, where it's not all comedy and that and it's more serious. It's a bit refreshing to see him in a role like that, in my opinion. His performance was great, the storyline was great, this fake world and him realising that his world is not real, it is all controlled by these people, all his friends and family are all actors. It's just such a good concept and I think it's executed very well. So with that, I'm giving the Truman Show a 9.5 out of 10. So the first thing I watched this month was Black Widow on Premier Access on Disney+. Again, I invested some of my pocket money to get this film on Disney+ on Premier Access. I don't know if it was worth the money. It's not the best MCU film by any means, really. It's got a similar tone to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with it being mostly action-based. I like the family aspect of this film with Natasha's fake family. Yeah, it's a really interesting story on the family side of things. Some of the performances are really good. I would say they're some of the best side characters we've had in the MCU, really. I think what really let this film down was on the villain side and that, and the Taskmaster. I like the twist of the girl who Natasha blew up in the past was actually the Taskmaster. That was an okay twist. I just think it's quite forgettable, in my opinion. Taskmaster isn't one of the best MCU villains. I would like to see more of the Taskmaster's powers, but we didn't get to see much of that, in my opinion. So with that, I'm giving Black Widow, I'll give it a 7.5. And then we have Loki. I personally think this is one of the best MCU related things at all since Endgame, in my opinion. It's just so well written. Cinematography, some of the images they show in this film look like a painting, some of them. The performances are great. I think the concept of the TBA and timelines and all that, I thought was really interesting. I think the final episode is most solid. Jonathan Major's performance of Kang the Conqueror, one of my favourite performances in the show. He made the character his own, in my opinion. A great TV show overall. The twist at the end was really unexpected and I can't wait for season 2. So with that, I'm giving Loki a 9.5 out of 10. And then I finished watching Parks and Recreation. I was watching this over like the last few months and I think it's one of the most solid long running TV shows I've watched. I don't think it dipped in quality at all. I think it started at the worst and then it just got better and better. The season finale wrapped things up in a really nice way. In season 6, when Anne and Chris left, I kind of missed them kind of a little bit. I also think the time jump from season 6 to 7 was really unexpected and I don't think a TV show's done that before, dedicating a whole season to catch up everyone after 3 years. It's just great writing. The comedy is great. I personally think this is better than The Office because it didn't dip in quality, whereas in The Office after season 7 it was just a downward spiral, in my opinion. With that, I will give Parks and Recreation a 9.5 out of 10. Another 9.5. And then I watched the Dark Knight trilogy on 4K. I brought the 4K box set on the Amazon Prime sale for £25. Pretty good deal, so I thought might as well get it so I can watch all 3 films. So first, obviously, watched Batman Begins. I thought the villain was interesting, the scarecrow person who like sprays you with drugs and everything goes crazy. I think the origin of Batman was really well done and it took time to explain the origin of him and how he got up to where he was. In the DCU Batman, we didn't get a lot of his story really. We just got a summed up part of his story in the prologue of Batman v Superman. I think it's really good to see that build up to him finally becoming Batman, and when he does become Batman, it's a really good payoff. I do think this film takes a while to get going, and it is quite a slow burner. It isn't as fast as the next two films in the trilogy in my opinion, so that's why I don't think it's as rewatchable. So with that, I'm going to give Batman Begins an 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. I'm sorry if I offended any of you, but... And then, obviously, we have The Dark Knight. I mean, what hasn't been said about this film already? When I was going into this, I knew that this was probably going to be one of my favourite films of all time, and it was. It was just so well done. Storyline, obviously Heath Ledger's Joker, one of the best performances of all time in my opinion. I forgot his name, but the guy who becomes Two-Face has story arc and that. What he said at the beginning, you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's exactly what he did really. And he lost the love of his life, so he basically didn't have nothing left. So he just became the villain. I think just a really good story arc for him. They're just iconic villains, and I think Batman is better than ever in this film. His gadgets are so cool, like his Batmobile that turns into like a motorbike. Like, I'm gonna give The Dark Knight a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10, that's right guys. And then we have the finale to the Dark Knight trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises. To be honest, everyone says that this is the weakest out of the trilogy. Personally, I prefer this to Batman Begins in the fact that it's just more fast-paced and the action is so much better than Batman Begins in my opinion. I really like the character of Bane. Obviously Batman's death at the end, bringing the whole story arc of Batman to a close, I guess. Thinking about it more, I'll give The Dark Knight Rises an 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to draw it with Batman Begins because I just thought about it more, and I can't think of many things memorable about the film apart from Batman dying, Bane, and that whole stadium blowing up thing. So yeah, 8.5. And then I brought the Jurassic Park trilogy on 4K in the Prime Day sale, which we'll call it £25 again. So another pretty good deal. Firstly, I watched obviously Jurassic Park. I think this was one of the best films of the 90s. The suspense and everything, and being trapped in this whole island basically, where these dinosaurs have escaped and are basically trying to kill you. I just really like the concept of that. Obviously Jeff Goldblum, you can't not like Jeff Goldblum. And I think the concept, I always talk about the concept in all of these films, but the concept of these dinosaurs that, like, from this insect that they found has dinosaur DNA in it. They've managed to recreate these dinosaurs in modern day. I just think that's a really interesting concept for a film. I'll give Jurassic Park a 9.5 out of 10. I didn't have many problems with this film at all. And then I watched the second film, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. This brings Jeff Goldblum's character, the side character from the first film, to the forefront. I really liked his character in the first one, and he was really likeable in this film as well. And he actually has a family now. He has a wife and he has a adopted child. I'm pretty sure it's adopted child because I don't see any other way. I think this upped the stakes even more. Jurassic Park being abandoned after, 4 years? And Richard Attenborough winning these photographers and everything to go on the island and see what's happened to it. And then these people land on the island with them, and they're people who want to capture the dinosaurs and bring them to mainland, which is obviously a really stupid idea, but obviously money. A really interesting concept, really fun action sequences. The deaths are much more brutal in my opinion than the first film. Like, this guy gets ripped in half and then this other guy gets pecked to death by these dinosaurs. When that T-Rex gets to mainland, it escapes the cargo thingy and wreaks havoc on the town. That's one of the best sequences in the film in my opinion. Just a really enjoyable film. Obviously not as good as the first. I think it's a really underrated film in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I do think some of the sequences drag a little bit, but like the dialogue sequences and that. But yeah, I think it's a really solid film. So I'm going to give The Lost World Jurassic Park an 8 out of 10 in my opinion. I didn't watch Jurassic Park 3. I did get the trilogy on 4K, but I didn't watch Jurassic Park 3 because I've only heard bad things from that.
Alan.
I don't know whether to watch Jurassic World and the sequel or not because I've heard mixed things on that as well. Yeah, I've just watched the first two for now. Then I watched Bumblebee, and it exceeded my expectations because I thought it was just going to be like just action and just fun action stuff. But it ended up being much more than that. It was so much more fun than I expected. I just thought it was going to be like a Michael Bay film, if you know what I mean. I haven't watched Transformer films, but I've seen enough scenes from it to know what a Michael Bay film is. It has a great 80s soundtrack, obviously based in the 80s. The story's just really simple about this Transformer who escaped their planet because their planet was being invaded, and then these two Decepticons are basically going and looking for him, and that's basically that's really it. And then John Cena's in it. So with that, I'm giving Bumblebee I'll give it a 7.5. Enjoyable enough film. No, an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. An 8. And then on Disney Plus, I watched M.O.D.O.K. Obviously, I talked about this in the last video. I think the humour, it takes a while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's okay. I really think some of the jokes are funny. Some of them I do laugh at, but most of them just don't really land to me, in my opinion. With other Marvel shows like WandaVision, Loki, every time I finished watching an episode, I wanted to watch the next one. I just wanted more. But after I watched an episode of M.O.D.O.K, I'm just like, okay, it's finished. I don't feel like I want to watch another episode. I'm just not invested in it as other shows and other films. I do think it's an enjoyable enough show, so I'll give M.O.D.O.K a 7 out of 10. Is that reasonable? So that's it. That's all of the films that I've watched in the month of July 2021. I'm currently watching, I've also got Netflix, and I'm currently watching Rick and Morty because I really wanted to watch that show. All of my friends are talking about it at school and I just want to watch it. Obviously, I watched Solar Opposites when that came out. That's like by the same creators of Rick and Morty. I'm on season 3 so far, and so far it is a really enjoyable, fun TV show. So yeah, so that has been it for everything that I have watched this month. I recorded a video earlier in the week about me getting my Netflix account, and I guess I'll play that video to end this video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like. If you didn't, please leave a dislike, and I'll see you in the next video. Roll the clip of me. So guys, I thought I'd just film a quick video saying that I managed to save up my pocket money to buy myself 1 month of premium Netflix. All I have to do is click on the start pay membership thing. Here we are, guys, Netflix. Finally got into it.
People say I am the best one.
The preview thing is a kind of annoying because it keeps playing sounds and I kind of want to turn it off. Oh, stop playing. I'm going to go and open it up on the TV. Right, guys, there it is, Netflix on the TV. The show I really want to watch is Rick and Morty. Oh my gosh. What's with the preview? Right, so that took me like 20 minutes to do, but I think I've sorted it out. Yeah, no previews or anything now. I purchased the 4K version, but not much of the things on it are really 4K. I really watched Umbrella Academy as well. I've heard good things about this one as well. So I think that's really sums up my experience with Netflix. Oh my gosh, guys, they got a new series of Peppa Pig. New season.